Hello everyone, this is the Audi A6 e-tron Performance rear-wheel drive, and I had it for 2 weeks and I drove around 1200-1300 kilometers with it, and it's time to talk about what I liked about the car and what was not so amazing. If you need a driver's logbook for your EV for work and you don't want to write everything down yourself, then Tronity is exactly what you need. Tronity connects to your car, a lot of brands are supported, and in the app or in a browser you can see all of the data. Where did you go, how many kilometers did you drive, where did you charge, how many kilowatt hours did you charge, and then you can specify is this for work or private. And of course you can do this all for a whole fleet. If you want to know more, there's a link in the description below. Let's start with the important thing that I like about this car. It's the drive. It's very comfortable, it's very quiet in there, it's very stable, especially at low speeds, and the regenerative braking is very strong and very nice. It brings you to a standstill, total one-pedal driving, and I love that. That has to be in every car. I love the 2 charge ports. We have one here only AC, and on this side there's the CCS plug. I like that. I don't know why, but I park my cars very weird sometimes in the driveway in the garage, and it's nice that I can choose which one I will charge with the AC plug. The cockpit and the infotainment system. It works really well. I get so much information in here, all the stuff in the world. For whatever reason, it doesn't have the map in full screen or the map at all. But I like when I'm navigating that I get here all my charging stops. So the next charging stop, it tells me I arrive with 13%, have to charge to 60%, will take 5 minutes. I like that. And then on top, I see for the whole trip. The same here. Navigation overall is really nice. I like that I can see my battery temperature. That's very nice. And what I love is a real button for assist system, and when I press this, I get my favorites right away. You can have 5 favorites out of all of those things here. You can put whatever you want in those 5 favorites, and then you click, press the button, and they are right here, and you can turn them all off, the stuff that you don't like. Amazing. When we are at charging, CCS charging, it's an 800 volt battery system, can charge with a peak of 270 kilowatt, 10 to 80% with this 95 kilowatt hour battery, takes only 22 minutes, which is amazing. But now let's get to a few negative things that I didn't like as much. And the first one is the charge port. It's the slowest opening and closing ever. And you cannot press a button so it closes, you have to push it, and when you push it you're working against the motor. It feels like you're breaking it. It's a horrible feeling. The headroom for the passengers. In the rear seats I'm touching the roof, and in the front seats I feel like I'm sitting very high and I barely have any headroom. So if you are above 6 feet, what is it, 190 centimeters or so, then this might be a problem. The digital mirrors, it's not, it's not A6, you don't need to have them, but I'm sure they're good for consumption. But this view where the display is good and it's bright enough and it looks like resolution and everything, frame rate is fine, but especially on a highway when there's a car a bit further in the back, a real mirror shows me the movement better than the screen. So I have my problem with it. The positioning, that normally you look here, but now you have to look here. I'm sure you can get used to it, but I wouldn't get the digital mirrors. I find it a bit sad that I cannot start the battery preheating for charging myself. There's no button here. Yes, I can see the battery temperature, but it doesn't show me what would be the perfect temperature. So I cannot press it. I have to navigate to a charger. When I navigate to a charger and it does the preheating, it doesn't tell me. There's nowhere a message, hey, I'm preheating the battery now. So I don't know. I want to be sure. I want to press it or get a message, hey, I'm preheating, in 10 minutes it's done. As I said, the regen is amazing. The only way that you get full regen is in B mode. You have to press the gear button twice. The problem here is when you are in B and then you go into reverse and then you put the gear in again, you're again in D. You have to press again, so twice, every time. I don't know why. Something I'm not a fan of is when you're listening to music, so from Spotify or Android Auto, Bluetooth, doesn't matter, and you press this button to stop it, or you press the off button here, both times it just mutes the music. It doesn't pause it. So since I want to hear what I'm listening to, but I have to pause it for a second because of, I don't know, whatever reason, I have to go in here and pause it. And that's annoying. Why does the button not do it like in other cars? Something weird I noticed yesterday at home, you cannot stop charging with the app. Even Volkswagen has that. And their software is not the most amazing and the app has not a lot of features, but I can stop the charging process if I'm charging. I couldn't. I can change the charge limit, but it was at 17% and I wanted to stop the charging session. I couldn't. I had to go out. And now to the main thing of this car that I'm not a fan of at all. And it all has to do with this. This is just the rear wheel drive. We have 270 kilowatt, I think, and in launch mode we have 280 kilowatt of power. That is enough power, that is fine. But when you accelerate, especially from a standstill, but even when you're just driving, there is acceleration, but it's handled in a way that it's extremely comfortable, that you barely feel anything, so you feel totally underwhelmed. Is this power? Is there something going on? It feels like it takes 10 seconds 0 to 100, even though it does it in 5.3, which is really fast. It's totally fine, but it just makes it a bit boring. And the same for the top speed. The car can go 210 kilometers an hour, which is amazing, but at that speed, so above 180, it's not handling extremely stable and not amazingly nice, especially above than 200. And I was expecting a bit more. I drove a few Audis now in the last few weeks, last few months, and this was, I mean, the Q4 cannot drive more than 180, but this was definitely the worst above 180. The others handled way better. SQ6 was amazing. Of course, the e-tron GT was incredible, but it's a sports car, it's made for that. So I think the problem is alone with this big battery and the only rear wheel drive. So if you get the Quattro or the S version, I'm pretty sure it's of course way more powerful, it feels more exciting, there's acceleration that feels great, and it also will be more stable at higher speeds. I'm pretty sure the Audi Q6 was okay at high speeds, the SQ6 was amazing, but this at high speeds it's not amazing at all, and the acceleration, like I said, is a bit boring. And 280 kilowatt is not little, that's a lot of power, and the time 0 to 100 is also great. But it felt underwhelming and a bit, yeah. Okay, so you can see, for me, this is not the car to get for those few reasons. It has great aspects, but for me, the car is a bit boring. Again, I get it, for a lot of people, this is not important and it's totally fine. Consumption was great, by the way, for this gigantic battery. Great range test, great long distance, great charging. It does it very well, it's very comfortable, like I said. The seats, these are the standard seats, no seat ventilation and no massage and anything. Those seats are not great as well, they need way more cushioning. I would get better seats than the standard ones. I would so do that. The seat heating is okay, but they're not extremely comfortable. But for me personally, this car is not the thing. I need a bit of excitement. Even my ID.7 has 210 kilowatt and is a second slower from 0 to 100. When I step on it, it feels more. It feels something is happening, electric power. And this is just made in a way that it doesn't do that. And for me, that's a bit boring. I'm sorry. If you want to follow me on Instagram, BatteryLife1, and if you want to support the channel, there's a Patreon link in the description below. And here on YouTube, there's also channel membership. And if you want to know what's happening behind the scenes, I have a third YouTube channel, Behind the Battery. But that's it for me. Thank you much for watching. Have a great day and take care. Bye.